So I was in the morning, since it was a holiday, I was compiling some of the important topics from different examination, right? Recruitment examination conducted by ICMR, CSIR, DBT, and other organizing body. So like I would put these at highest priority, like from the research methodology part, or you can say that the first 100 question. From the first 100 question, you will be having these topics like sensitivity versus specificity, PPV, NPV, and ROC. So these are the important keywords. Now, if I am talking about sensitivity, I should know about it. Sensitivity, let us know what it will provide us the number that are true, negative. Specificity is about true positive, TP. True positive, and specificity is true negative. And PPV is what? NPV is what? These are the two different parameters of prevalence. These are the two different parameters of prevalence. PPV means positive predictive value, and NPV stands for negative predictive value. It means whenever there is a disease outbreak, there can be a two outcome, either the positive predictive value, and then if you are saying positive, it means disease case. So PPV depends on sensitivity because this gives us the true positive. On the other hand, NPV means negative predictive value. So it depends on specificity, because specificity let us know that how many patients are there who are truly negative, like they don't have that disease, whatever you are testing. So that one. Okay. ROC is what? Sensitivity upon 1 minus specificity, right? So see, I am remembering all these key words, but this should be at your fingertip, that what is sensitivity, what is specificity. Whenever you are having questions related to these particular terms in the first part, like part A, so you have to solve it within 30 seconds so as to give more time on the questions which are really, really difficult. So don't waste your time on these silly questions. Just be sure that this is the answer, select it and do the next. Okay. Apart from that, incidence versus prevalence. Okay. Incidence means how many cases are adding on each day. Like we used to do this since the COVID time. How many new cases are registered in the hospital? Like 100 on, 1000 on Monday, 2000 on Tuesday. It means we are having increase in the number of patient after Monday. Okay. Prevalence means whatever be the number of cases at a particular time duration. Like if I say that in January 2026, like for X disease, there are 200 patients. So that this is known as prevalence. But if I am saying that every day 10 patient comes in the hospital, take a registered cases. So this is known as incidence. Incidence means kitne cases add on ho rahe hain on each day, and prevalence means how many cases are there at a particular point of time. Okay. Now cohort versus case control versus cross sectional studies. So these are the observational studies variation. We know that a research design, RD research design, can be like I am revising the first part. Okay, so I will not just read the topics, but I will also provide you the background, the concepts. Research design can be observational and experimental. Okay, so what question can come from this topic? Which one is the gold standard test? Gold standard का मतलब भी मैंने बताया था, the most accurate one which you will completely follow. Whatever be the outcome of that particular study, you will completely rely on that. So that is known as gold standard. The second word for gold standard is accuracy. ठीक है? Your accuracy for this examination should be high. It means you will not opt the negative answer. Instead, you will opt like out of 100 question. If you are saying that your accuracy is high, it means most of the majority of the question you have attempted is correct. Okay. Now the next, observational and experimental. So in the observational, you are again having three categories. That is cohort, case control, and cross sectional. Okay. So cohort, I told you that this is the longer duration study because it involves follow-up. ठीक है? Cohort can be prospective and also retrospective. Prospective मतलब आगे जाके आप कोई केस स्टडी कर रहे हो. Retro मतलब पीछे जाके कोई एक्सपेरिमेंटल नहीं, पीछे जाके आप क्या रिकॉर्ड्स निकाल के ऑब्जर्व करके कर रहे हो. ठीक है? इफ यू आर कंपेयरिंग ऑब्जर्वेशनल विथ एक्सपेरिमेंटल, who will be the most reliable? Of course, the experimental, because in the observational, you are only relying on the data, whatever be the data, and you are not conducting any experiment. Okay, so this is the major difference between observational and experimental. Now, apart from that, bias and confounding. I told you in my previous classes that confounding is what? The extraneous variable. The extraneous variable that will do what? That will distort the relationship between dependent and the independent variable. It means this is the third variable which influences the outcome. Not only just two variables, but also there is one third variable, that is confounding. How you can minimize it? I have told you randomization you can do, blinding you can do. Okay? Now, type 1 and type 2 errors, absolutely important topic. You will get a question for sure for this. I have told you to leave 2 pages in your notebook in which I will be providing you some important topics. So write it down in those pages. One important topic, that is type 1 and type 2 errors. Okay, which one is lethal? How you represent type 1 error? How you represent type 2 error? P-value and confidence interval. In the part A only, you will be having questions related to if P-value is 0.00 less than 0.005. So is it a statistical significance or the data is not significant? Okay? T-test, chi-square, ANOVA. So what is the difference between t-test and ANOVA? The difference between t-test and ANOVA is if you want to compare means of two group only, so for that you will use independent t-test. Okay, t-test also has 3 categories. So if you are comparing 2 independent groups, then you will use t-test. If you are like comparing 2 groups, for example, if you are comparing a patient who has some disease and you are having some therapy, right? So what will be the impact of that therapy? So what you will do, you will take the readings before the therapy and after the therapy. So patient will remain same. It means dependent. So this type of t-test is known as dependent or matched pair t-test. ठीक है, यानी एक ही इंसान का आप 2 रीडिंग ले रहे हो. Another one is t-test के बाद chi-square. ठीक है, chi-square is for categorical variable, primarily used in genetical experiments. ठीक है, genetic analysis के लिए use होता है. Apart from that, ANOVA. If you want to compare means of 2 or more than 2 groups, like 3, 4, 5, 6, so you will use ANOVA. ANOVA stands for analysis of variance. Now for everybody, not just for medical biotechnology people, for every discipline, PCR and qPCR. What is the difference between PCR and qPCR? Nobody will ask you a question on this PCR, conventional PCR. They will ask you on qPCR, RT-PCR, what is CT by CQ. Yesterday, I have posted one reel at my Instagram channel. So I have requested you all to do follow me on Instagram for more competitive exam related stuff. And that too very, very interesting and catchy way. Okay? So you can follow me there. And rest of the topics are from life science subjects, right? Data application, I have taught you. Transcription, translation, we have already studied. CRISPR, NGS, ELISA. This will be my next go-to topic. Okay? Cell cycle checkpoints. All this we have discussed, like enzyme kinetics question, communicable disease epidemiology, outbreak investigation, screening principle. So these are some of the most important topics who have the highest weightage for your examination point of view, for your recruitment examination that will be conducted by AIMS. So if we are talking about this AIMS, okay, recruitment exam for scientist post at AIMS. Okay, so why not to study about AIMS in a very, very detailed manner? How AIMS do everything, how a patient come at AIMS, how he or she register himself or herself, and how the report is generated, what is the pipeline, how they have streamlined it. So as I am into it, I can explain you in a very simple and yet I will provide you the most important topic from where questions can be asked from you. Right. So let me take you there. And after that,